I took a piece of plastic and turned it into the Mandalorian's Vibroblade, and I'm going to show you how I did it today on Darth Rage Reviews.
Evacuate? In our moment of triumph? I think you overestimate their chances.
Greetings, Force fans, and welcome to another episode of Darth Rage Reviews, your source for the Force. Guys, business first. As always, I would love it if you would go ahead and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when the videos are popping. I'm dropping videos all the time. If you like Star Wars, if you like cosplay, if you like lightsabers, if you like all of that jazz, you're going to like this. Hit that subscribe button, guys. It's free. It costs you nothing. Please and thank you. All right, today, guys, getting closer and closer to becoming 100% done with my Mandalorian cosplay. So if you guys watched my last video, which not a lot did, I only got like 30 views on it, guys. Come on now. You're better than that. But for those of you that did watch my last video, you know that really all I've got left to do is some weathering, and I had my Mandalorian Vibroblade, which is now complete. Guys, I am super psyched about what I have done here. But first, as always, I like to drop a little knowledge. So let's get a little history of the Vibroblade. How did it come about? What is it for? What does it do? So the Vibroblade is a Mandalorian melee weapon. I think it came about, again, don't quote me 100%, but I'm almost positive it came around the time of Revan. And the Mandalorians basically use it as a weapon that can cut through Imperial Stormtrooper armor, can block lightsaber blades. So it's basically like it says, a knife blade that vibrates. So that vibrating blade, I like that they actually call it, they say that the knives sing. So that singing or vibrating blade enables this to cut through what most other blades wouldn't be able to, much like butter. So very, very cool. Jango had vibroblades in his gauntlets, so he was able, they kind of showed it when he was fighting Obi-Wan on Kamino. When he was sliding down that platform, he used them to kind of catch on. So vibroblades there, and then they really weren't seen again until The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian pulls them out in several episodes, fights a stormtrooper with them, fights the Mudhorn. He kind of uses that as the killing blow on the Mudhorn. The battle in the armorer's place where he's fighting the other Mando, he pulls it out there. And in the fight where they're watching the Gamorrean guards battle, the first episode of season 1, you actually see him, he tosses it and sticks it in somebody's chest. That's where you get a good shot of the handle, which is really all distressed. So what did I do to turn this, and I've got this taped up because this blade is not attached, but basically this piece of plastic that I got from my boy Elvis. Thank you, Elvis, at Blues Bro. If you guys haven't, go ahead and give him a subscription. He deserves it too. So he printed these up for me. I did 2 of them, and I turned this into this. And I don't know if you guys can see, I am very, very proud of how this turned out. And I tell myself over and over, this is plastic. I mean, guys, that's amazing. What you can do with paint nowadays, you know, a little sandpaper and a little effort, this is plastic. So how did I turn this into this? Well, it's a very, very surprisingly simple process. You only need a couple of things. You'll need some sandpaper, you'll need some glue, you'll need some paint, and you'll need some graphite powder. And that's all you'll need to really, take this and turn it into this. So let me show you. This is how I got it done, guys. Take a look right here. All right, we start by spraying the whole thing with filler primer, and I sanded it with a 200 grit sandpaper. Then I go and cover the entire thing with Mondo glazing spot putty. This stuff is perfect to fill in all those lines, to fill in all those imperfect spots on a 3D build. So honestly, I'm covering the entire thing on it. You let that dry overnight, and then it's time to start sanding. I went at this with a 400 and then a 200, kind of going back and forth. This takes a long time. I think I spent almost an hour doing this. And again, I'm going back and forth between a 400 grit sandpaper and a 200 grit sandpaper. I pull out my file at times to get some of the detail work done, but really want to take the time and do this right and get it smooth so I don't have to do it again. So it's kind of strange. You cover the whole thing with it and then you almost take all of it off. So it almost seems counterproductive, but what you have at the end is a better product. And cover that once again with some filler primer, and that's just to see where those last spots that may need a little work are. And then it's back at it with some 200 on the really hard spots, then 400, a little file work to get all the details done, and then I'm going to move it up to an 800 and do some sanding with an 800 to give it that really crisp, clean look. And again, on something like this, you want to take the time to do it right. It takes a long time to do, but if you skip this step, it's going to just end up not looking good in the end. So you want to take the time to do the sanding right. And sanding is my least favorite part of all of this. This, again, was probably another hour that I spent on this part, just getting everything smooth. But once that is done, then it's on to starting to apply the colors. You know, again, the file on some detail work and really took the time to get all those pieces, parts looking good, because when this final coat of paint goes on, you don't want to have to go back. So again, this probably took me hour and a half to do this final sanding. Then it's on to the colors. So I started with a base of a flat matte black paint, covered the whole thing with that. Then I taped off the blade and I painted a chrome onto the handle. So this is going to be the under part that basically shines through and looks like it's kind of the paint is chipped away. So covered that with chrome. Then I kind of scuffed it up a little bit, and then I painted the whole thing with liquid latex in spots. So the spots that I want the chrome to shine through, cover with liquid latex. So a coat of liquid latex on there in spots, and you let that dry overnight. You see it's various spots. And then I'm spraying another coat of matte black on top of that. And our handle is pretty much done. Let that dry, and then I switch off the tape. So basically I tape the handle and untape the blade. Then it's time for a coat of gloss black on top of the blade. So that gloss black we're going to turn into a metallic look with our graphite powder. So gloss black on the blade, you let that dry, and then it's graphite rub time. So this part is fun, very simple. You just take a cotton swab and you rub that graphite rub into the black gloss paint, and it comes out looking like a nice chrome metal. Very, very cool process. So you get that rubbed in and buffed as shiny as you want it to be. The more you buff, the shinier it is. And cover that with a coat of clear coat to protect it. And then it's time to pull the paint or the tape off the handle. So the tape starts pulling some of the liquid latex off. You can see the chrome kind of shining through there. For the rest of it, it's a very simple process. All you really have to do is just kind of rub your finger along it, and it'll really pull off the excess liquid latex. You see it just peels right off. That's it. Cover the whole thing with another coat of clear coat, and you're done. That's it. You end up with something that looks like this. Very, very awesome. Very cool. I'm psyched with this. The first time, I tried this technique with the liquid latex, and I really like the way that came out. That chrome paint on the bottom and that coming through just looks really cool. And this blade, very, very pleased with the color of the blade. I am going to finish this one as well. When I do that, I'm going to actually use, instead of a gloss black, I'm going to use a gloss white on this and see kind of what it does as far as the finished chrome look. I've heard that a gloss white, actually makes it look more chrome. So I don't know. Who knows? So this will now take the place of honor in the gauntlet, in the greave. So this actually sits just kind of right like that in the leg greave. and this will take its place of honor. So, Elvis, once again, man, thank you for this. Really, really appreciate it. And as always, it's buy one, get one. He sends me this, and then I send him this back. So, Elvis, when I finish this one, I'm going to send this one to you as well. I hope you enjoy it. It'll go nicely with the gun that's going to be coming your way as well. I don't know where the gun's up there somewhere. So, you make it for me, and then I make it for you. It's a deal that we have. I hope it's like a mutually symbiotic relationship. I hope you enjoyed as much as I do. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for you today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a like on that. As always, I am Darth Rage. This is Darth Rage Reviews, your source for the Force.
I felt a great disturbance in the Force, as if millions of voices suddenly cried out in terror and were suddenly silenced.